They said the land behind Umuakiri village was cursed. Nothing grew there except silence and weeds, sharp enough to cut the ankles of the careless. Children were warned never to step past the iroko tree that marked its edge, and hunters crossed themselves when their paths drifted too close. Yet that was where Nkiru went every dawn, barefoot, wrapped in faded cloth, carrying nothing but a cracked calabash and a heart swollen with grief. No one stopped her. No one dared, because Nkiru was a widow whose tears had not dried in 7 seasons. Before sorrow learned her name, Nkiru had been laughter itself. Her husband Obinna was a gentle farmer with hands strong enough to break yam, mounds and soft enough to cradle newborn chicks. Together they worked fertile land near the stream, and their compound was always full. Songs during planting, jokes during harvest, warmth during Harmattan nights. But envy has ears. When Obinna's harvest grew richer than the chief's cousins, whispers crawled through the village like ants. Accusations followed. He uses charms. No man harvests this much honestly. Nkiru laughed them off. Obinna warned her to be careful. Then one evening, Obinna did not return from the farm. They found him at dawn, face down in the red earth, eyes open as if he had seen something too terrible to name. No wound, no snakebite, no explanation. The Dibia muttered words he did not finish. The elders avoided Nkiru's eyes. By sunset, Obinna was buried. By sunrise, Nkiru was alone. Grief does strange things to the living. For Nkiru, it made time bend. Days blurred. Food lost its taste. Songs sounded like mockery. She cried until her chest burned and her eyes felt like ash. Then one night, as she wept behind her hut, the earth beneath her palms felt warm. She froze. The ground pulsed, slow, deliberate, like breathing. A voice rose from the soil, neither male nor female, neither young nor old. If you will not let your tears fall to waste, plant them. Fear held her still. But grief is stronger than fear. What grows from tears? She whispered. Truth, the voice replied, and the price of injustice. At dawn, Nkiru carried her cracked calabash to the cursed land. She knelt, cried into the earth, and buried her tears as one would bury seeds. Nothing happened. The villagers laughed when they heard. Grief has finally broken her, they said. But on the 7th day, the soil darkened. On the 14th, strange shoots rose, thin, glistening stalks that shimmered like water under moonlight. And at night, the land wept back. The plants that grew on Nkiru's farm were unlike anything Umuakiri had seen. Their leaves trembled without wind. Their stems hummed low, mournful songs. When the moon was full, droplets rolled down them, not dew, but tears. And each tear carried a memory. Those who came too close heard whispers, stolen land, broken oaths, secret murders, curses paid for with blood. Hunters fled. Children fell sick with nightmares. Even the elders avoided the path, except those who had something to hide. One by one, the powerful of Umuakiri began to unravel. The chief's cousin screamed in his sleep, confessing aloud how he had paid a wandering poisoner to silence Obinna. A respected elder lost his voice the day after stepping on Nkiru's farm, mute, but with tears streaming endlessly down his cheeks. The Dibia refused to eat, claiming the spirits had turned their backs on him. Still, no one confronted Nkiru. She only farmed. She only cried. When famine struck neighboring villages, Umuakiri sent emissaries to beg Nkiru for help. Her crops, strange as they were, never failed. They glowed even in drought. They fed her, and they fed the land. She listened quietly, then said, I will share my harvest. But first, the truth must be spoken in the open square. Under the old iroko tree, the village gathered. The crops from the cursed land were brought forward. When cut open, they bled clear water, and the water reflected faces like mirrors. Whoever drank from it spoke only truth. The chief trembled. The elders resisted. But hunger is a cruel persuader. Confessions poured out like floodwater. Names, payments, plots. By sunset, the guilty lay prostrate in the dust, stripped of titles, stripped of honor. Some fled the village. Others were swallowed by madness. The poisoner was found dead at the stream, eyes wide in terror. Justice, long buried, had risen. When the land had spoken all it needed to say, Nkiru returned to the cursed farm one last time. She knelt, pressed her palm into the soil, and whispered her husband's name. The earth stilled. The crops withered into ordinary grass. The whispers faded. The land slept, and Kiru never cried again. They say she remarried the land itself, becoming its guard.